Pets are very important. They give huge stat boost and can elevate your Skyblock experience. In this video, DankestGamer will go over every single good and bad pet in Skyblock. If you enjoy our content, make sure to like and subscribe, or else your cookie will run out and you'll lose 142 mil like DankestGamer.
The blue whale is quite possibly the best tank pet in all of Skyblock. It gives a ton of health and extra defense, making you incredibly tanky, and when paired with a dwarf turtle Shelmet, you basically become unkillable. This pet is great for the tank class in dungeons for those who can afford it. The blue Yeti is an insane berserker pet for dungeons, giving you 1 defense for 1 strength at level 100. Pairing this pet with a Flower of Truth, which gives like 1000 strength on its own, makes a berserker unkillable. The Megalodon pet was recently added in the Mayor's update, and it's actually a pretty good berserker pet. At level 100, it gives a good amount of strength, 25% more damage based on missing health, and 50% damage and speed for 5 seconds after each kill, which is great for dungeons, as you'll easily be able to kill an enemy every 5 seconds. The Dolphin pet is the best pet for fishing XP. A level 100 Dolphin gives a total of 15 sea creature chance and up to 25% fishing speed based on nearby people. Even without the fishing speed buff, the Dolphin is the best fishing pet for fishing XP. The flying fish was completely unviable until a recent buff, and it's actually pretty good now. At level 100, it gives a 40% fishing speed buff, which is actually worse than the dolphin's 15 sea creature chance, unless you have over 80 sea creature chance. It also buffs diver's armor, which gives a total of 2.4% sea creature chance increase. Overall, it's an excellent pet for its price, and I recommend it to people who can't afford an epic dolphin, or people who have tons of sea creature chance. The squid pet is an excellent fishing pet for anyone going for a high level fishing skill. Using the extra fishing XP, you can pet swap from a dolphin after letting your mobs accumulate to increase your fishing XP. Equipping a squid while collecting fishing minions also grants you more XP, and if you like squid fishing in the park, a squid is a must-have. The sheep pet is an alchemy pet that boosts your efficiency with magic weapons. When using a sheep pet, you can reduce the mana cost of items and get a ton of extra intelligence, especially while in dungeons. The sheep pet is really easy to level 2, as it's an alchemy pet, and the price of cane is at like 55k, so alchemy is basically free. I would buy one of these if you're a mage in dungeons who uses magic weapons. Next, we have the Parrot pet. This pet used to be good until Hypixel decided to implement the 24-hour God Potion. The 24-hour God Potion is not affected by the Parrot pet's potion boost, so this basically renders the Parrot pet completely useless. If I was Hypixel, I would have made the Parrot pet potion boost weaker, but affect the 24-hour God Pot. The Jellyfish pet was one of those pets everyone hyped up because it was a dungeon pet. Then Dungeons was released and people realized how absolutely garbage it was. The healing buffs it gives are negligible. The bee pet was one of the first pets released during the pets update. It has a decent perk which basically makes you 25% more tanky, but this does not compare to pets like the Yeti and the whale. Next we have the chicken pet. This pet used to be the best pet in the entire game when egg farming was OP. Now not only are egg farms bad, but the chicken isn't even that good for egg farms. You need to be online and all you get is a 30% chicken minion boost with a level 100 legendary chicken. The elephant pet is pretty nice. The only perk that matters is the 25% chance to get double drops while farming. If you farm crops for coins, this is a good pet to pick up. The rabbit pet is the best farming pet in my opinion. The 30% boost to farming XP can save loads of time while getting farming levels, and the legendary perk is great if you use farming minions. Just make sure to be on your island. The pig pet is pretty funny because it's a rideable pig. The lion pet was one of the first pets released during the Oringo event, and when it first came out, people were freaking out over the stats. Then they saw the stats of the other pets and realized that the lion is trash. The DPS increase is worse than a tiger while being at the same price, and the abilities are based off first strike and lower level mobs, both of which don't matter when fighting the actual tough mobs in Skyblock. The giraffe is yet another useless foraging pet. I mean, the stats are decent when you're jumping, but even then it's no better than other DPS pets. The dodge ability is technically 25% more durability, but not really, and the regen is unnoticeable. The Ocelot pet is a great cheap alternative to the monkey pet. It buffs the amount of foraging XP you receive and gives you experience orbs for breaking wood. The monkey pet is the best foraging pet in the game. It gives up to a 30% chance to get double drops, speed in the park, and most importantly, a 50% tree cap speed increase. Using a legendary monkey, you will not only get the max foraging XP, but also maximize profits. Funny enough, the Endermite used to be among the greatest pets in Skyblock. When it first came out, there was no way to compact ender pearls quickly while zealot farming, so the Endermite became a way to manage your inventory by eating your pearls while giving you extra coins. One day, Hypixel decided that the Endermite pet was too strong, so they nerfed the pearl munch and made it give less coins than the NPC. This wasn't a big deal until they added sacks and personal compactors, rendering the Endermite pet completely useless. The Bat Pet is an excellent pet for people that want to do spooky events, buffing the chances for mobs to drop candy by 20%. Combining this with a Bat Person set allows you to make millions every spooky event. The Rock Pet is pretty useless. I mean, it gives decent defense and damage while sitting on your rock, but realistically, you won't be sitting on your rock while fighting enemies. It also is technically cheap anti-KB, so I would still get this pet because it's funny to sit on a rock. The Silverfish pet is the best pet for leveling up your mining skill, as it boosts the amount of mining XP you receive by up to 30%. Finally, we have the Wither pet, one of the best damage pets in Skyblock. Personally, I don't think the Wither gets enough hype. It costs virtually nothing, levels up at the speed of light, and does DPS comparable to a legendary tiger on a non-Wither mob. When you enter dungeons, this pet becomes even better. Many of the mobs in dungeons are skeletons, so you take 30% less damage from them, and floor 7, 8, and 10's bosses are all classified as Withers in the dungeon's GUI. This means while fighting those bosses, you'll do a flat 50% more damage, which is actually insane. A 50% damage buff easily puts a Wither over a legendary Ender Dragon, which may make the Wither the best dungeon pet by far. The Black Cat is simple, you get more magic find and pet luck. It's only worth it if you're going for an RNGesus drop. The Blaze pet is good used in combination with Frozen Blaze armor, but it's also really good for dungeons, as the double HPBs are multiplied by stars and kata levels. The Enderman pet gives a 25% higher chance to get special zealots, making it the best zealot farming pet if you're still into that kind of stuff. The Ghoul pet was never a viable healing pet. It buffs healing but only towards yourself, and the zombie sword sucks at healing other people. The Reaper Scythe buff has been bugged ever since they updated Necromancy. The Golem pet is for people who like killing a dragon on pre-fire. Other than that, its DPS is quite lacking compared to other DPS pets. The Griffin pet is a great pet to pick up for 50 mil, but only as a legendary rarity for an endgame player. The legendary pet can be used during the Griffin event and make you hundreds of millions of coins, and the damage is second only to a legendary Ender Dragon. The Guardian pet buffs the enchanting XP you receive by up to 30%, and it's useful to get enchanting levels faster. The Horse can be used to glitch through walls. The Skeleton Horse can be used to glitch through walls. The Hound pet apparently drops more for eggs from Lost Adventurers, but let's be honest, who really cares? The Jerry pet is funny. The Magma pet is good for people who steal AFK Magma minions. The Pheonix pet is an extremely rare drop from any mob and has the highest intel stat from any pet until you start adding multipliers. It also gives a second life and decent DPS, but nothing worth the price. The Pigman pet is bad, who even uses a Pigman sword? The Skeleton pet is a decent pet for archers who bow, but most archers just spam multiple boomerangs for more DPS. The Snowman gives decent strength and crit damage while slowing down enemies and reducing damage taken by up to 15%, but in the end, it gets outclassed by too many pets to be viable. The Spider pet is not great, but it boosts Spider and Tar minions up to 30% for people who steal AFK Tar minions. The Spear pet is trash. Maybe if you die a lot in dungeons, you could feel better about yourself by having a Spear pet accompany your dead useless ghost. The Wolf pet is a staple pet that most people should have. It buffs combat XP up to 30%, which is great for almost anyone grinding to combat 50, and also people who do slayers, as a combat XP buff greatly reduces the time it takes to spawn a boss, which is far longer than the time needed to kill a boss. The Tarantula pet is good for people who do Tarantula Slayer, as it buffs XP from spiders up to 40%, 10% more than the Wolf pet. The Turtle pet used to be the best tank pet. The anti-KB was a luxury and great for dungeons. Then Hypixel ruined the pet by adding an anti-KB pet item. The turtle pet is a lot less tanky than a whale, and it isn't even special for its anti-KB anymore. The zombie pet is great for shredding all zombies. Then we have the classic DPS pet, the tiger pet. An uncommon pet is great for early game DPS, and a legendary is considered one of the best DPS pets. Against a solo mob without mobs in 15 blocks, you get an added 20% more damage, which basically only happens during a dragon fight, making the tiger an excellent pet to melee drags with. With a recent update adding ferocity, a stat that adds a chance to double hit, they updated the tiger's ability to doubling your ferocity and giving a base stat of 10 ferocity. If you have a base of 0 ferocity, the tiger is about as good as a wither in terms of DPS. But if you have a ferocity stat of 40, using a tiger will increase your ferocity by another 60%, which makes the tiger potentially the best pet in the future. Finally, we have the Ender Dragon pet. This pet is insane for DPS in and out of dungeons and is overall great in all categories. 25% more damage to end mobs makes this the best pet for dragons, and a 10% increase in every stat makes the Ender Dragon insane for DPS, intelligence, magic find, defense, and HP, basically making the Ender Dragon an overall amazing pet for any class in dungeons, specifically melee mages. The main concern is the large price tag. Is the Ender Dragon worth your coins? You could save money by tier boosting an epic dragon, but even then, I would only recommend this pet to endgame players. When leveling a pet, use either the appropriate XP boost or an XP share. There are no enchanting or alchemy XP boosts, so just add an all skills boost. And if you have multiple XP shared pets, unequip the pets that don't match the XP type you are getting. After a pet is leveled to your liking, you can start adding different pet items. The lucky clover should be added to any pets where your main focus is rare drops. An example would be to the black cat, the ender dragon, the griffin, and the wolf. A washed up souvenir is the only and best fishing pet item. A textbook doubles the pet's intel stat, which is great on the sheep. For DPS pets, there are a couple viable items. A crochet tiger plushie gives 35 attack speed, which basically increases your DPS by 35% if you have 0 attack speed. Antique Remedies is the best pet item for pets with around 25 or more strength, such as the Megalodon or Ender Dragon. And an Iron Claws is great for pets with a lot of crit damage like the tiger. I wouldn't recommend using something like the Serrated or Gold Claws as they're not worth their price. The Dwarf Turtle Shelmet is an insane pet item for any tank or DPS pet. Anti-KB is OP, especially in dungeons, and the fact that they made it a pet item is ridiculous to me because it basically removes the point of having a turtle pet. A tier boost is only important on a pet which costs more to buy the next rarity of than the cost of the tier boost itself, which is around 22 mil. There is only one pet which you should tier boost, which is the Ender Dragon, as Griffins can't be tier boosted.
That's all for the video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.